Hey, what is happening, guys? Good morning. My name's Johnny. You've tuned into Rules for Rebels. Today we're sharing Amazon merch November numbers. Those of you guys who watch my channel, every month after the month has ended, I do kind of a wrap-up, share my sales numbers with you, so total number of shirts sold, revenue made, and then like how many designs we had to sell to get to those numbers. And I like to kind of stack it up against previous month's numbers. So Amazon's always kind of slow to release your finalized earnings. So I mean, we're into December. I still haven't gotten my finalized November results. However, if I go over here to products, which I did earlier, I can pull a spreadsheet and kind of get my sales for the month. This doesn't always seem to be 100% accurate. Typically, the final numbers wind up a little bit higher, and I'll give you an example. In October, I just pulled numbers for October and kind of summed everything up, and I came up with 380. In reality, Amazon gave me 403. So I don't know if Amazon, if the last day of the previous month gets tacked on to the next month or something like that, but typically the numbers are a little bit higher than what I come up with even. But it's just kind of interesting to kind of see the growth. I mean, you can go back to the beginning of my account. In the earlier days, I didn't take it like this, that seriously, but I mean, if we just look back to like March of this year, I sold one T-shirt and made $1.94 in commissions. The next month, got it up a little bit, 19. The next month, 42. Had a pretty good month the following one at 139. Pulled back a little bit to 58. But ever since then, I've been consistently one-upping myself. In September, I actually sold more shirts in August, but the shirts that sold were lower price shirts. So even though I sold more shirts, I actually wound up making less money. But every month for the past, 3-4 months, I've set a new personal best in terms of overall number of T-shirts sold. And then every month but 1 month, I set a new personal best in terms of earnings. Obviously, September was 1 month that I fell short, even though I actually sold more shirts. They wound up bringing in less money. So, it's always just kind of interesting to see how you're progressing. And over these past few months, I've been more consistent. I've been uploading more consistently. I've been working on my designs and kind of really focusing in on like the whole SEO thing. Before we get into actually sharing the November numbers, today is a big day. Today is December 12th. So any of you guys who follow merch, you guys probably heard about all the changes that are going to be happening in December. Heather blue and heather gray shirts are going to be out of stock a lot of times. Some of your shirts will only be available in one color. Some of your shirts will essentially be throttled and taken off Amazon merch. And I think part of the reason for that, Amazon has sent out an email or a notification, whatever, a few weeks back, and basically let us know that they're going to be raising or I guess basically knocking our commissions down by about $1.80, $2 per shirt. So that's really going to hurt. I mean, if you sell 100 shirts a month, that's $200 less that you're going to be making because they're taking they're charging us a higher base price or taking away from our commission. Now, I have a feeling partly why this throttling going on is because, look, Amazon's not making a ton of money off print on demand. So during this busy Q4 holiday season, if Amazon's going to sell a product, do you think they'd rather sell a product from a third-party seller that they're going to get a 15% final value fee from, plus Amazon FBA fulfillment fees from? Do you think they'd rather sell that one where they're going to make a lot of money? Or do you think they'd rather have a customer buy one of your merch shirts that they're going to make like a couple dollars off of? So I have a feeling that's kind of why the throttling's going on. A lot of my shirts have had the BSR scores totally removed. A lot of my best-selling shirts, even if I search the exact title, are not pulling up. So I was getting kind of scared about how December was going to be. Although despite all that stuff going on, I just pulled my numbers earlier this morning. We're 12 days into the month, have 88 shirts sold. So I mean, if that trend continues, I'm going to blow the last personal best out of the water. And then one thing I wanted to say, I don't make these videos like to brag. Like, my numbers are nothing compared to a lot of other people. Body and Beta, who I think he might be on YouTube. I know he's on Steam at @ Body and Beta. 2 or 3 months into Amazon merch, he was bringing in a couple grand a month. Glenn from Hustler Hacks, and also of the podcast Merch Minds. I think I watched one of their podcasts a while back, and he did 10,000, not 10,000 in take-home or commissions, but 10,000 in overall sales in a week, which is pretty good. I know at one point he had like closing in on 5,000 T-shirts up, and I think was doing $5,000, $6,000 a month in commissions. So there are people out there absolutely killing it. This is something like graphic design, something I'm not really skilled with. It's something I've been slowly working on, trying to get better at, playing with different programs, trying to improve my SEO, and really just kind of being consistent has led to growth, and you can kind of see the growth of this through these videos. This is pretty passive, which is also kind of a lot of fun. So I mean, if anybody who's not on merch, definitely get on there. Even if you're not going to be like super active, the ability to like make your own swag or whatever, if you're like a YouTuber or have a blog or have something else you want to promote, is kind of cool. Obviously, the power of like Amazon's organic search is really powerful, and even despite Amazon raising the base price, they're still significantly cheaper than like Redbubble or Zazzle or Cafe Press or Teechip or Teespring or really anything else out there as well. Getting back to why today is an important day, I kind of got sidetracked there. So, as I said, Amazon's made a lot of announcements about this month. Back around probably December 2nd, December 3rd, I saw a video by the Thrift Shop Hustler who mentioned that he was being throttled, and basically his uploads were being limited even more than they already were. I logged in. Sure enough, I saw the same thing. Actually, this is probably December 3rd, December 4th. The next day, December 5th, and he even warned about this in his video. He said last year, on this day to the day, Amazon Merch shut down the program like literally for the entire month of December, and I think even a week or two into January. I wasn't super active with merch back around last year Christmas season, so I didn't really notice it. It's not something that sticks out in my mind. But this month I definitely noticed it. I mean, Amazon. Oh, and by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, I am at tier 500, which means I can have up to 500 shirts uploaded. I think I have 288 shirts uploaded right now. And Thrift Shop Hustler was giving me some advice the other night when I had him on for the interview. He said, Amazon, and again, we can only speculate what Amazon wants to see or whatever, but he said Amazon wants you to be above like 80% of the listings that you're allowed. So what he means by that, I don't know exactly off the top of my head what actually, I don't know, whatever it is. On 500 shirts, I should have above 400 shirts active. It just kind of looks better in Amazon's eyes. I have a better chance of tearing up next time I come up. So he said, look, as soon as this freeze ends, work on really pumping out some shirts and getting above 400 shirts up there. That's something that I got to work on. Another thing that's kind of interesting, I started off pricing my t-shirts really high. I got down to kind of pricing them lower because I thought, well, somebody's going to be much more likely to buy a shirt at $14 or $15 than at $19.99. But at the same time, keep in mind, if your shirts are selling for really cheap, Amazon's not making as much money. And if Amazon's not making as much money, maybe they don't show your shirts as well in searches because it's not that profitable for them. So Thrift Shop Hustler said, actually, if you kind of slowly raise the price, you can kind of find a sweet spot where Amazon really likes it and where you're not turning off customers. Or maybe, if somebody's about to make an impulse buy, they might pull the trigger at $16. They might not pull the trigger and buy it at $19.99. So he said by slowly raising the price of your shirt, you can kind of find that sweet spot where Amazon really likes it, you rank really well, and you're also not dissuading customers from buying. So I was just getting ready to start doing that, and that's when the freeze happened. So right now you can't edit shirts. You can't upload new shirts. You can't really do anything. So Amazon had said back when they did this on December 5th, they said, we're going to come revisit this issue on December 12th. We may bring it back live. We may keep it off. I kind of fully expected it to kind of stay shut down through probably most of December, at the very least up until Christmas. I mean, at this point, Amazon merch is so bogged down that shirts are shipping really slow. Like, if you ordered an Amazon merch shirt, at this point, it's cutting it close whether it would be there by Christmas. I ordered a couple shirts like way back in like early December, like December 1st, December 3rd, December 4th, and those ones were saying that they're going to be arriving December 19th. And I think I've even gotten emails since saying, oh, your item may not arrive on time. So, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't count on a ton of Christmas sales unless people are going to give a late gift, because I think shirts ordered from here on out, may or may not even arrive by Christmas time. But I've rambled long enough. Let's take a look at the November sales numbers. So if we scroll right down here to the bottom, here's the columns. I cut out the names of the shirts, but this is the product types, whether it be standard shirt, long sleeve tee, premium tee, etc. For anybody who's a little bit out of the loop, Amazon did roll out kind of a beta test of long sleeve tees. It seems like people at tier 500 and above got the long sleeve tees. I've heard rumors that hoodies are coming out in the near future. We have the cancellations here. We have the revenue, which is like what they sell at Amazon's price all tallied up. And then the royalty is what I make off of the shirt. So, I mean, there's some shirts that sell for $19 that I make $7 on. There's other shirts that sell for $14 or $15 that I only make $2 or $3 on. And I actually even have some shirts that I sell for like almost break even or only making like 20 cents. If we go down to the final numbers, so total number of t-shirts sold for November, 132 t-shirts sold. That's a new personal best for me. We did have 8 cancellations, so that brings it down to what's at 126. Total sales, $2,019, and then my commission is going to be $477.26. I wouldn't be shocked if once Amazon releases the official numbers, if I'm actually closer to 500. And then in terms of how many designs, how many different designs sold, I had, let's see, the top column is the titles, so it's not 47, it's 46. But of my 132 t-shirt sales, 46 of them, 46 different designs sold. And I think as far as like which one of my designs sold the most shirts, this shirt sold 20 designs. A lot of them sold 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 1 or 2 shirts that sold 9. But yeah, that's kind of why Amazon Merch is a numbers game. Is even if you have hundreds of shirts live, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 shirts that are going to make up the bulk of your sales. And then you're also going to have various shirts that sell 1, 2, 3. So that's kind of how all the numbers add up there. I guess that's kind of it. There's not a whole lot of excuse me. There's not a whole lot else to say. That's kind of my numbers. Again, right here is kind of the last 2 months. What's my plan kind of moving forward? I think I'm going to start kind of going through and revising some of the titles, tags, and descriptions for some of my shirts. I don't want to change them too much because I think that could throw off their place in like the search algorithm. But there are a few things I want to edit a little bit. I've seen some people in some of my niches some new sellers coming over the top of me and ranking better. I think I'm going to start raising the prices of some of my shirts. Like I said, I started off high, then I started going really low, and I think the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, and that's where Amazon is happy because they're making money, and they're only going to show your shirt if they're making money off it. So I think by raising the price, and the Thrift Shop Hustler and a couple other people have kind of alluded to this, if you list it too cheap, Amazon really doesn't want it to sell because they're not making a lot of money. If you list it too high, you're going to turn off a lot of buyers because not everyone wants to pay $19.99 for a t-shirt. But if you kind of slowly raise the price from starting low and find that sweet spot to where your shirt still is an impulse buy, but it's also profitable for you and Amazon, you can do really well. So that's something I'm going to be doing as well. I would be thrilled if Amazon Merch goes back online today and we're able to upload shirts. But again, last year they shut down for December. This year, I think we have more merch sellers than ever. I'm seeing better numbers than I've ever had. I think Amazon would probably rather sell other items, so I wouldn't be surprised if this program stays shut down through the month. And just a lesson that we can take from this for next year, when next November comes around, say to yourself, the past 2 years, Amazon Merch has shut down in December. It could happen again this year. I better make a push to get a lot of shirts live going into December, so if they do this again, I'm better positioned for it. So that's all. Excuse me. That's all I really got for you guys today. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you guys have questions about merch, if you want to share your merch numbers, if you have any merch tips or any news, anything you've heard, drop it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm really trying to get to that 100,000 subscribers and get that silver play button. So yeah, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube jazz, and I'll catch you on the next video.